Hello, it's Red here. Are you ready to hear some stories today? Do, 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 do. I probably won't do that again. I'm not going to make any promises because I seem to always break my promises. So no, probably won't do that again. Today I'm going to be reading some r/EntitledParents stories. Are you ready? You are? Perfect. Here we go. Karen wants to make me leave my own party. Some context here. I was in the army for 5 years and was near an IED when it exploded and have some scars on my arms and legs. This took place 2 years ago and we had a semi-big 4th of July party. It was hot out and I had shorts and a tank top on. Some scars were visible, but most were filled with surgery. The main one was on my arm and running from my shoulder to my elbow. A kid asked me why I had it and I just said I got hurt. He just walked away to his mum and dad. I was standing at the grill like any dad at a party and Karen stormed over and just started yelling that what I told her son traumatized him. I was confused for a minute before she pointed at my arm. Apparently, I'm an awful person for doing this. The yelling attracted my wife and Karen's husband. The husband was mad at me because I made his wife angry and whatnot. My wife tried to calm them down with me to no use. Karen yelled that I needed to leave my own party because I was big and scary to the kids. And she thought that I was threatening her. I apologized for looking scary, but I also explained that I will not leave my own party, but her family is free to leave. We ended up just asking them to leave after a loud argument. The worst part is that I burned the burgers. I'm sorry, what right does anyone have to comment on someone else's appearance with scars or any other sort of difference? That is absolutely unacceptable absolutely. Like, there's no reason. A kid asking a question? Yeah, that's reasonable because a kid wants to know. When you're a grown-up, when you're an adult, you understand that bad things sometimes happen to people and that they might be sensitive about it. So you need to use a little bit more caution when addressing certain subjects, like scars that are big and massive and down someone's arm. You don't just go up like a 5-year-old and go, "Hey, what happened? Did you get hurt? What happened? Why is your hurt?" No. Karen. Here's the next story. It's Entitled Parents, so probably this one's going to make me angry too. Entitled parents are mad at me for their son breaking into my room in the middle of the night. This happened last week. Just thinking about this, I'm shaking in frustration and sheer astonishment at this level of entitlement. It's the end of the semester here at uni, which means that most of the students are rounding up coursework, presentations and essays whilst preparing for the long revision nights of Easter break that we're obviously having after Easter. Safe to say that most of us, including me, are very stressed and or sleep deprived. It's in this context of mental and physical exhaustion that this story takes place. It has to be noted that my bedroom door sometimes doesn't lock. It needs to be pulled hard to be fully closed, and I happen to have forgotten to do this a couple of times. The night of the incident obviously being one of them. After a full day of reading and essay planning, I went to sleep around 11 p.m. and fell asleep almost immediately. Like I said, I was absolutely exhausted. A few hours later, I heard what sounded like hushed footsteps near my bed. I am a very, very light sleeper, and I'm awoken by the smallest unfamiliar noises. Due to PTSD, one of the sounds I'm most sensitive to is footsteps. Needless to say that my eyes shot open almost instantly. I turned around to see the silhouette of a guy I'd never seen standing next to my bed. I could make out a bit of his face, nothing scary about his appearance aside from the fact I didn't know who he was, that he was staring at me in my bedroom in the middle of the night. I let out the loudest high-pitched scream I think I've ever been able to produce, yelling at this dude to get the F out! He seems taken aback but didn't react much, which made it even scarier. I was crying, hyperventilating. It seemed like I was about to die, have a heart attack or something of the sort. Before I had time to do anything, my flatmate Clem was in the room, also yelling at the dude to get out, whilst trying to give me a shirt to cover myself. I sleep naked, so Clem assumed the dude was trying to assault me. All the commotion attracted the security guard that was walking the halls. He separated everyone and took the intruder out to the common area to give me some time to compose myself and get dressed to explain what happened. Once Clem had managed to calm me down, I explained the story to the security guard, who told me that our flat's door was also unlocked, which is probably how the intruder got in the first place. The intruder was searched by security guard, but he wasn't found with any weapons on him, so he was allowed to go back to his flat. All the commotion had woken up the rest of my flat and a couple of the flats next door. Security guard ordered everyone to go back to their flats and to properly lock their doors. Safe to say, I didn't sleep the rest of the night, neither did Clem, so we stayed together trying to relax and forget about this very unfortunate event. Boy, do I wish it stopped there. 3 to 4 days later, Clem and I are summoned for a meeting with the housing manager. When we get there, the intruder and who we assume to be his parents were waiting. This was in respect of COVID regulations, plus we all had masks and were socially distanced in the office. I'll try to give you the conversation as verbatim as possible. Clem is helping me with that bit. Good afternoon, everyone. Clem, OP, the intruder. Thank you all for taking some time out of your studies to meet with us. As you know, there's been a very unfortunate incident Monday night as the intruder broke into OP's room, which caused them a great deal of fright. The intruder, Mrs. Entitled Mother, and Mr. Entitled Father, you've called this meeting to contest the intruder's expulsion from this housing following the incident. Is that correct? The Entitled Mother and Entitled Father nodded, looking fairly confident. The intruder, on what ground are you contesting the expulsion? Well, The Entitled Father cut his son off. You see, sir, my son is young. He made a mistake and deeply regrets scaring this young lady here and offending her boyfriend. I'm not her boyfriend. I wasn't finished. As I said, my son deeply regrets his mistake, but it was a mistake. Nothing illegal was found on him the night of the incident, and his room was searched illegally. Thus, he should not be expulsed from your halls. I am a lawyer. I know the law. We will discuss this in a second, sir, but I would like to hear from the intruder, who I'm sure can speak for himself and give us his explanation. The intruder looked at his dad, who gave him a nod, almost like he was waiting for his dad's permission to speak. Well, like Father said, it was a mistake. I didn't realize I'd walked into the wrong flat. I just noticed when I saw the girl sleeping that I was in the wrong room. And Father says the drugs you found in my room weren't seized illegally, so technically you shouldn't be allowed to expulse me. The manager pulled out a copy of the intruder's housing contract. They keep a copy of our signed contract for legal reasons, or in case we lose ours. He flicked the pages to the illegal substances and contraband section, which essentially says that any possession of illegal stuff, illegal drugs, weapons, etc. on housing grounds would be met with immediate expulsion. He then turned more pages to the room entering and inspections, which states that security and management are allowed to enter any room or flat for repairs or safety inspections with a 24-hour notice, but that to search when there are suspicions of illegal activities, searches performed by the police did not require any notice. And under what suspicions did you call the police on my baby? This is ridiculous. You have no rights to use the assumptions that he's a sexual predator as grounds to search him. Everyone kind of looked shocked at Entitled Mother's reaction. No one even mentioned anything about sexual assault so far. That's what you call jumping to conclusions. Ma'am, sexual assault is nowhere mentioned on your son's expulsion notice. OP, are we right that the intruder didn't try to assault you? No, he didn't try anything. We didn't even make physical contact. I made the assumption at first because I saw OP was crying and trying to cover themselves when a stranger, a tall man in her room. It was late, I was barely awake, and that was the first thing that came to my mind. So, you wrongfully accused my son of sexual assault?
Do you know we could sue you for this, young man? I work for a very prestigious law firm.
Everyone calm down. No one is suing anyone here, especially since no allegations were made. It was something said in the heat of the moment. Besides, your son is being expulsed because ecstasy and marijuana were found in his room on Tuesday. His room was searched because he admitted to the security guard that intervened that he was under the influence. Now, if you can't give me substantial evidence that the intruder hasn't violated his contract, we will end this meeting. Does anyone have anything to add?
Well, I have something I need to say. I think this young girl here should be issuing an apology to my baby for getting him expulsed. If she had measured her response to my son's presence and had slept with a shirt on, none of this would have happened. Also, imagine how embarrassing it would have been for my son to realise you entered the wrong flat. What was he supposed to do?
Oh, come on. I don't know. Leave the bloody flat, Clem said. Also, Mrs. Entitled Mother, I don't know how me sleeping with or without a shirt on would have changed anything. I had my covers to my chin, and I won't change my sleeping habits in case someone decides to break into my room at 3 a.m. Yeah, I didn't see anything in the moment. I only realised you were shirtless when I was taken out of the room because the lights were turned on. Mummy, please stop with that.
Son, don't you speak to your mother this way. We're doing everything to keep you here. Show some respect.
The meeting ended shortly after this. We left and the intruder was expulsed. But honestly, I feel sorry for him. He doesn't seem to be a bad person, and his parents are just garbage people that will coddle him. Probably for the sake of their image more than for his own good. I rarely feel sorry for the children of entitled parents, but the intruder makes me a bit sad. Yeah, he's old enough to know better. He got into a mind-altered state and did something stupid, and he should face the consequences for that. And his parents are just enabling him, which is ridiculous, and are old enough to know better. Yeah. Good thing they kicked him out, honestly. Gosh. But that's so crazy! Oh, imagine how terrifying it would be to wake up, you're naked, and someone is standing in your room. Well, on that creepy note, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys enjoyed those r/entitled parent stories. Read by me. Read. Oh yeah. Please give the video a like if you did enjoy them. And don't forget to subscribe as well if you haven't done that already. What that is. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.